you know, oh my God, Swinney didn't sign anybody out of the portal. No, we had 9 guys drafted. Not any of that. No, we didn't have 11 guys on the same page playing cover 3 or cover 2 or quarter or whatever it was. We didn't run the ball effectively. We didn't execute on third down like we need to. It wasn't talent. It was football stuff, all right? And that's why I say that's on me, because that's my job, is to make it work, and it didn't work. And when you don't win the close games, when you don't finish in the fourth quarter, when you're 151-7 in the last 15 years with a lead in the fourth quarter, or 151-5, 2 of those 7 were last year. That's on me as the head coach. You know, that's your mental toughness, that's your staff, that's how you use your personnel. It's all those things. It's confidence, all of that. Now, having said that, I'm really proud of that team because they did the work, and that's a great group of people, man. And at the end of the day, you know, you're 3-5, and with the type of expectation, at most places it would have been 3-9. But those guys rallied, they didn't point fingers, they stayed together. We reset on what we could achieve in the moment we were in, and we won 4 in a row to have our 15th winning season in a row. And I've said that many times, winning season is not our goal. But that was a big deal in that moment. And a choice had to be made, and those kids made a decision to stand up and fight for Clemson because they care about the place and they care about each other. And all those guys who left are all champions. Everybody that's come to Clemson since I've been a head coach has won a championship, except those freshmen last year.
Hey, Coach, just talk about your season opener versus LSU down there in Tiger Stadium against the team with Lane Kiffin as their head coach.
Going to be a huge challenge. Huge challenge. Great program, great coach, great players, great environment. You know, game day, all that stuff. Going to be a great opportunity, but a huge challenge.
So, Coach, I talked to you a little bit earlier, real quick, about Adam Randall, and he was glad that he had opportunity to go ahead and play there. But how are you managing to work through the transfer portal? I know it's something that you haven't done much in the past based on circumstances, but the transfer portal, this kid's a great kid, and he loves you as like a father, and he's thankful that you were loyal because you produce a lot of your own players, that he got an opportunity, and now he was drafted in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him. I wish he'd had another year. He'd probably been a second rounder instead of a fourth rounder. But no, I love Adam Randall, and I'm really proud of him and excited to see him go do great things. But there's a couple things with the portal, and if you go back when all this stuff started, I said at some point everybody's going to have to use the portal. It's not going to be a choice. You're not going to have a choice. And going from 85 scholarships to 105 scholarships, you have to use the portal. Now, how you use it is different. And then I think there's for us, it's a resource for us. It's not the source for us. For some people, it is the source. And that's not judgmental. That's just everybody's different. Everybody has to do things whatever's best for them and their program, their situation. For us, we're developmental, and we lead the nation in retention. We lead the nation in graduation. There's value in these kids. Kids love it there. We lead the nation in fewest players leaving. But with the 105, and now with rev share and all those things, you have to fill your roster, and you're not going to go to the portal and get Will Helt every time to come be your starter. But yet I need that 14th wideout, all right? Because you're not going to get 14 if your number's 14 at receiver. You're not going to get 14 Bryant Wesco's, T.J. Moore's. They won't stay, and you can't pay them. So you have to be very strategic, just like the NFL. You got to have first, second, third rounders, whatever. So then you got free agents, and a free agent for us is a scholarship-only type guy. But those guys are valuable, and hopefully they develop. There's a lot of free agents in the NFL that become great players, right? There's 6 rounders like Tom Brady, who becomes a Hall of Famer. There's first rounders in the NFL that stink. There's maybe our first rounders that we may take, they don't develop. It's a whole deal, but you got to be very strategic how you put it together. So the 105 is a part of it, and then moving the date to where now you have a chance to respond. up until last year, it was all the same time. So you couldn't predict, hardly anything. And whereas now the high school kids sign in December and then the portal's in January. So that's really helped, because then you can say, okay, all right, I had 2 DBs leave that were veterans. Well, we got to go replace that. Hey, we've got, we love our starting receivers, but man, we need 3 depth guys. Well, let's go find us 3 depth guys that maybe could develop or whatever. So it's how you put it together is different, but our process has not changed as far as whether it's a portal guy or a high school kid, how we go about evaluating them, recruiting them, it's the same.
Coach, going back a bit, just on the topic of the tampering situation, do you have an update on Luke Frelly, and are you surprised at the lack of movement on that front a little bit?
No, I don't have. They don't owe me an update. I don't have an update. I mean, I did my part. I mean, they got NCAA. You have to ask them for an update, but no idea.
Dabo, yesterday, and follow up to that actually, Jim Phillips took that podium and urged coaches or administrators who know about tampering to go public with it, come forward with it. You did all the things he asked. You had all the receipts, but to this point, you don't really have the results. Do you regret going public with any of it?
No, not at all.
Coach, what do you like about your specialist group this season?
My specialist group? There's a question I hadn't had all day. Appreciate that, man. Hoosier, my man Hoosier, appreciate that. Charlotte native right here, Huff High School. Super excited to have Nolan Hoosier back, and he'll be a junior. And hopefully we can keep him a couple more years with the new 5-year deal we got going. And then we got Jack Smith, who I thought was the MVP for us last year. Now, unfortunately, he had to punt a lot, and hopefully we don't see it near as much of him this year. But I thought Jack was amazing last year. And he was the guy that y'all beat me up about the most last year. Why you didn't take a punter? He didn't take a punter. Why didn't Swinney get a punter? We stink at punter. They're all bad. Y'all come see 3 minutes of practice and they shank one and they all stink, Jack Smith was an MVP for us last year. The guy was unbelievable. And he got more hate than anybody. And, so he's back. So I'm really happy about that. And, we're going to have some new snappers. For the first time in my career, I have a snapper in the NFL. My man Florenzo with the Falcons, actually, he's got a chance to make that team. So I'm proud of him. Never had a snapper in the NFL, but it means he's not. Him and Casperson are gone. We've had Florenzo and Casperson, and those guys have been money for us. So that's an area we got to improve. And then, but we got Rich Bisaccia in. And he's mad at me because I told y'all that he was in a state of rage. So he's going to stop talking to me. I was like, I like that. So we got Rich Bisaccia in, who I think is as good a special teams coach as there is in football at any level. And and him in a state of rage is probably good as well. So I'm excited about working with him and having some fun with him. So we've got a good group, good battery back. We got Clay back. Clay's back, holding for us. He's done a great job. We need to figure out who the backup punter is. We got Robert Gunn back. Robert Gunn's been a weapon for us. So I like our group.
We got time for one more, guys. Sorry, we got one more.
How do you go about educating your players not to handle the temptations that the league sometimes faces?
Just do all you can education-wise. You bring it up. They don't live in caves. They know. And when you see consequences like that, that makes a difference. Hopefully it will be a little bit more of a deterrent. So.
Organized at least for a couple years on this senior year. Was it surprise to you guys that you look so ready from the
Tate Reynolds? Oh, he's been playing ball a long time, man. His whole family football players. He's been a baseball, football guy forever. He pulled his hamstring his senior year, but this guy's an elite athlete. And one of the reasons he came early and didn't play baseball was he wanted to compete for the job. And had he stayed and played high school baseball, he would have probably been drafted here recently. So he's probably play Clemson next year. I mean, he's an amazing athlete. Y'all let's see him. He doesn't look like a freshman, and he's got elite arm talent. He's the only offensive guy in his family. I kind of like that too. Everybody's linebackers. Dad linebackers. Brother's a linebacker. His sister is one of the greatest softball players in the country. They're a big-time athletic family, but he's a baller, and he's about his business all the time. Very mature kid. Proud of what he's done to this point. Look forward to watching him continue to compete.
Coach, back to
Sorry, he's got to
San Diego.
go. He's got to go to the next station. Sorry, guys.